Transitions are a key part of the game today, and there are no better players in world football as shown in this World Cup than Mbappé. We're going to show 3 reasons today, broken down by our analysis team, how Mbappé excels in these transition moments. Please like, please subscribe. Here we go. So there's no doubt that France's defensive system suits Mbappe's transition style, but what we don't talk about is what actually happens as soon as the transition moment appears. So if you're a central striker, which Mbappé is here, it can be challenging to find space if the opponent, and you know they're going to drop back to reduce that vertical space as soon as the transition happens. But what Mbappé does, very, very interesting, is he pulls out wide or changes his body orientation to face the play whilst accelerating at the same time. What this does is this gives him some space, it gives him in a preferred position, and then all of a sudden the France supporting runs can take place to help him. We'll show this in a second where they become really, really important. That initial movement, separating himself from the first defender. Of course, the second defender is probably going to take an option of cover. That's why the runs are important beyond. But when you see that first transition happen, watch Mbappe's movement. Watch how he often arcs his run very, very quickly, and how within seconds or even a split second, he's facing the passer and facing the goal at the same time. To do this at the speed which he's doing it at is very, very impressive. It's very, very important. Now all of a sudden he can get faced up with the defender, and he's in a position where he looks like he's gone too wide, but all of us know that he's very, very comfortable in this position because it gives him the time, gives him the space, and then all of a sudden that's sometimes all he needs for the acceleration and the goal. The second point, this one's huge for me, a detail that often gets missed in the transitional moment is whenever Mbappé gets the ball, all of a sudden he pulls out wide, he makes that initial movement. Because he's not attacking vertical space and he doesn't have support, a lot of players would say, well, hold on here, I'm going to wait for the cavalry to arrive and support to arrive. By the time support arrives, and support is important, but by the time it arrives, he's already gone at that first defender. He doesn't avoid defenders, he runs directly at them. And then this movement, often a subtle movement towards his left side, forces the defender to adjust their body position before he then changes direction. So it's not just him running at a defender, he's running at them and then he's doing a specific move because the defender is already physically, positionally disadvantaged because they are overextending themselves acceleration-wise. So he's got so much control of his acceleration that a change of direction capacity for him, he can do it, and he's so effective at it. The third and final one, and this gets overlooked as well, particularly in coaching, we talk about body language. Body language in transition is huge. As soon as the transition moment happens, and we're talking seconds here, look at Mbappé highlighted, his body position, his body shape, his body language compared to the defenders, flat-footed. He sees transitions quickly. Then you've got his acceleration. But if you take a freeze frame within 1 second of the transition happening, his body language is unbelievable. And then this gives him, again, a little bit of momentum. Even if the defender here backs off and all of a sudden he's not beating him for speed. But the fact of you add those first 2 components together of the acceleration, the change of direction, the mentality, the positioning, and now all of a sudden, because you're seeing it quicker and you get a 1-2 second advantage with that acceleration, it's unbelievable what he can do. And this one here, it doesn't have to be the last defender. And this one with Vinny Jr., his Brazilian teammate is ahead of him with the ball out wide, but Mbappé sees the opportunity. The defender thinks he's got cover or he's safe, and within seconds, Mbappe's behind the last line and scoring. Unbelievable player. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and make sure you subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.